Hey, all right.
It looks like a desktop.
There we go.
Oh my God, a Debbie machine? No wonder it doesn't work.
Okay, we're on the edge. All right, let's bring this over here. And get this full screen. Okay, so my list of stuff, the joys of OpenHAB. So I know that you have an echo, you have an echo, and the rest of you don't have any automation at all. Anything, nothing, no hue, no anything. Okay. So the joys of OpenHAB is that it works with everything darn near. It's got IP. You can probably get online with OpenHAB. Doesn't need to be IP. It just has to be locally controllable or cloud controllable. But the joys of OpenHAB is that you're out of the cloud, fully customizable protocols, everything you can imagine. Runs on Windows, runs on Linux, runs on Mac, runs on a Raspberry Pi. It's all Java based. You can run it on a NUC. You can run it on a full-fledged server if you want. So you can do low power, high power. The power you give it determines how responsive the system is when you ask it to do anything. So if you say, hey, I want to turn on these lights, well, it's going to be snappier on a faster system. You might have to wait a couple seconds on a Pi. That's one of the downsides to running a Pi. So competition is fierce. In the open source world, you've got Home Assistant, which is Python based. OpenHAB is Java based. Those are your primary two right now in terms of automation. There are other old ones. What do we got? It's the old one. Mr. House, still around, not really getting any development. Really rough around the edges, not recommended. Open Remote sees very little activity. Honestly, OpenHAB and Home Assistant are your two best options if you want to automate your home or business or anything else at this time. Layout and interfaces, the next best thing about this is because there's a REST API to this. So we can go in here and post REST items. In an XML file, basically of all your items in a REST state so that you can go through and configure these to push information or retrieve information from any of these devices from anything that you want, from either the browser or from within the OpenHAB interface itself. So if you want to go into this interface and we know that we can say, okay, well, Larry's desk is 77 degrees right now. It's temperature on the sensor over here on the cable. You can gather temperature from home-built weather stations, from sensors like this DHT11, and just about anything else. You can get outdoor temperatures. We got 33% humidity in here, so we're feeling muggy. Yes, feeling muggy. So outside temperature is not going to be working right now because we're not connected to the internet. If you want to use some of the internet features, you got to connect to the internet. So customization, as you can see, as flexible as you want it. I call it potato, tomato, downtown, and Larry's desk. The other thing we've got downtown is the awesome relay, which is actually not connected. What is connected over here is the shiny crazy diamond here.
What is that?
Should be that fan kick on. Fan did not kick on. Fan should have kicked on. So we'll actually reset that because it might not have gotten on the Wi-Fi in time. Yeah, so that's just a fake switch. So that one's not going to do anything. But this switch, all of these switches are running off of little Wi-Fi boards.
There we go.
Well, it's connecting to the Wi-Fi. It's actually set to automatically turn on. So the important thing is I want to know that I can actually turn it off. So full control from any relay devices. Now I've also got it set so, okay, we know it's 77 degrees in here. We've got rules. You can extend your system with rules and scripts and say, okay, when these certain criteria are met, motion sensors, temperatures, things like that, go ahead and trigger these items. Turn on fans, turn off lights, whatever you need to do to get things working. This should, when it hits 80 degrees, kick that fan on. So right now we've got a 78.8 degree reading on this sensor. So the other thing we've got is we can do crazy lighting. If you get a Philips Hue system, you can go down here and go, where we at? Under potato. Turn the LED on. There we go, 80 degrees, unrelated to that, which is a matter of triggering at the same time. But we can take our LEDs and we can have all sorts of fun with these. So If you have a Philips Hue system and you want to be able to control it, control everything from within one app, not have 12,000 apps and a screen full of icons just to control this and this one does this and this one does this. And everything in one app. Full control of your system, it's yours. Nobody tells you what to do. The other thing is that you're buying devices that have local control, you don't have to worry about some cloud service suddenly disappearing. Sorry, our devices are no longer supported by us because you used our cloud service, you're screwed. Yeah, doesn't happen here. So, you've got the freedom and flexibility to choose and do what you want to do. I'm going to turn this one back off. If it stays above 80, it may kick back on. So, you can extend this control of squeeze boxes, Philips Hues,
Where do you write these?
smart TVs.
Where do you write these rules?
These rules are all done into a variety of folders. We have a
on
couple
this-
different places to do things. We'll come to that in a second. So, protocols. So, like I said, layout and interfaces. I've got 3 different mobile apps on here. You can use any tablet, any smartphone. There are custom options where you can have graphs with large, pretty icons. Yes, we know there's no internet connection. I think you're supposed to connect to this. Too bad, I want you to reconnect. Connect anyways. So, again, any protocols, Yamaha receivers, any network connected stereo receivers, Samsung and LG smart TVs, Ecobee thermostats, Asterix. You can talk to your Asterix boxes and route calls and get notifications within your OpenHAB installation. So extensible via everything, HTTP, exec bindings that you can send commands to other machines, to Windows, Mac, or Linux machines. Wake on LAN support, so if you want to have machines turn on when you need them to turn on, you can pop into your automation app and say, oh, go ahead and turn this machine on, or turn this machine off. So you can have a lot of flexibility in terms there too. If you want to have something come on at a certain time of day, go ahead and schedule it within OpenHAB, have those things turn on and off. If you can, I don't know if you can see this small screen up here, but this is something with large icons that we can then control everything. So we can turn things on and off from here with this nice big interface. We have our indoor temperature there. We have another third-party interface for doing this stuff as well. So go ahead and turn that light off. And then we have the official interface. The official interface is just, same thing as all the others. So we turn that back off. So flexibility, again, customization, everything you want to do, extensible. Location-based options. Presence detection via phones, Bluetooth, MAC address on your devices, NFC. You can come in, scan a tag, sit down. It recognizes that you're home, set your thermostat preferences, set your lighting preferences.
Can it so it can recognize you from your MAC address on your phone?
Yes, if you so choose, or whatever device you want to have. You can say, hey, this device is connected to the network. You're using a network health binding that says, okay, we can see that this device is here, so you come home, you can turn on your laptop, or your laptop's connected to the Wi-Fi. Go ahead and turn on your server. You fire up your laptop and you can get things working, and you need it to have your server up and going so that you can push projects to it if you do it automatically for you. So, sky is really the limit. Do-it-yourself options. Arduino, ESP8266 is, anybody know what an ESP8266 is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you actually play with them a little without even knowing it. Little Wi-Fi boards cost as little as $2 a piece. I use one of the nicer ones, it's about $4 a piece. Every one of these items up here, the one that controls the relay, the one that reads the temperature sensor, the one that controls the RGB LED, all $4 boards with little shields or other attachments that aren't more than a couple dollars a piece. So for anywhere from $4 to $10 a pop, you can control devices, lights, gather data, temperature readings, infrared movement, anything and everything. Very flexible system if you want to do any of that. Configurations. Neil wanted to know configurations. Let me get back over here. Bring a terminal over there.
So you configure it to the...
Yeah, it's none of this point and click stuff. Okay? You've got a few primary things here. You've got your OpenHAB config file. That's your primary file where you modify and change things to enable what you have on your network, type types of devices that you have on here. I can go down here and say, okay, I want to search for Yahoo. I know there's a Yahoo weather finding. So here's my weather information. We have our world ID, our lat and longitude, how often we want to update that information. We can go in there and, we want to say, okay, I've got a Samsung TV. There's a couple different Samsung things that are supported. Let's get all of that back up there.
One capital G.
Don't make me use Emacs. Lowercase? There we go, lowercase. So Samsung TVs, LG TVs, Onkyo bindings. The wiki is extremely comprehensive in terms of the devices that are supported and the information that you can pull on them, how to configure those bindings, how to find your devices, how to control them, what options you have to control them. You can do things like if you're using Kodi or XBMC to say, okay, when I start Kodi on this device, go ahead and turn on these lights or dim these lights or set this color value to these lights, turn on the receiver, set the input to this, everything just by going one click. Or even you hit an NFC tag that says it's movie time. Tap that tag, do everything for you. You can get incredibly lazy in how you want to automate everything and get the work done for you. So from the configuration, we have items, rules, sitemaps. Items is where we go in and we choose, we define the items that we have in the home. The only thing that's important here is that how the extension of the file name has got to end with .items to be read by the system. As long as you end it in .items, it will be read. So if we look at our default items in here, we can see I've got my groups. My groups include my sensors. The layout on here, actually, some of these lines get incredibly long when you add descriptions like in the MQTT stuff. So we'll stretch that out. So you can see that we have an indoor temperature sensor. We give it a title, what we wanted to say. Gee, it's about this warm in here. This is an icon. This is telling me in these brackets, this is the icon I want to have. There's an icon set that's built in. You can configure that icon to do whatever you want. You can create your own PNG files to dump in there. They just have to be tiny. So you can have all your icons down here look like anything that you want to look, as long as the file size is small enough. At home, I set that in to be a little fork and knife. Some of them are built in, the little ducks built in, the weather, some of these are already in there. You just choose an icon that you want it to look like. Here we have the box set, here we have temperature set. The MQTT stuff, which is rather interesting, Mosquito. Mosquito is a server platform, communications platform, I should say, for every platform. You can download and run and install Mosquito, then you need Mosquito clients to talk to it. Mosquito clients are rather interesting is because once you have Mosquito running, we bring this other terminal over here. This is not necessary in order to have OpenHAB work, but when you install the Mosquito client, you get to test things. So I can do a Mosquito sub topic, and I have this sensor set to publish to EUGLUG temperature and humidity. So we're seeing temperature, humidity, temperature, humidity. Here's where you can see where I intentionally push the sensor up so that we can turn on the fan over there. So, and you can do that. You can do it in the server room. You can do it in your home. If you've got a window fan, it gets above a certain temperature in the house, turn on the fans. So, but MQTT is just one of the many, many things that you can do with OpenHAB. How you configure this. This is saying send the command out to this device. Send the command out to the device. So these are our on and off commands. Here we're saying pull the data in. We want to pull the data from the sensor into OpenHAB rather than wanting to push the data to the relay. So how you format that is how everything comes in.
MQTT is just a chatter thing. It's a broadcast.
It's just a protocol. It's just one of many, many protocols. It's like if you're doing something with HTTP, except that the beauty of MQTT is the packet sizes are incredibly tiny. You can do MQTT over RF, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, any TCP/IP, so you can do it on Ethernet connected devices. MQTT, as long as you can send a packet, tiny packets, you can do a variety of devices. So if you need something with range, you need to put a sensor in your chicken coop across the yard, you can do RF instead of Wi-Fi, so you don't have to worry about the intricacies and annoyances of Wi-Fi because RF has greater range.
Yeah.
So you can do a radio frequency chip, little, 433 or 866 megahertz radio chip for a couple dollars a piece if you're willing to do the do-it-yourself route. How often you want to change anything? You want to pull in weather data. Weather forecasts have been a pain in the ass for a lot of people. I still don't have forecasts working properly. You can show your current date and time. You can choose your NTP server and the configuration file. Show the last update when you got a weather update. You show the elevation of the sun and the moon in the sky. Get the current moon phase. Endless options. So, like I said, control from anything, talk to anything, very comprehensive wiki. Do-it-yourself options. Your costs are as much as you want to spend. I have given a brief summary of my experiences and the technologies and the things that I use on my website. So, eviltechmonkey.com/automation.html covers the things I've done. It has a bunch of Amazon links to stuff. And then I share some of my configs in the same site, eviltechmonkey.com/configs.html. So if you want to get the code, I just have a code bender link that you can click and get the link for that to how to program that in Arduino. You can use the Arduino IDE to modify a few lines, change that so that now we're not going to publish to EUGLUG humidity, we can publish to home or bedroom 1 or dining room, and then we can take that sensor data, publish it to anything we want, and then subscribe to it. So then we subscribe to that data. So we published it, and that's where we see that information being published in here. Okay, this data is being pushed. You can change the frequency, how often you want it to read. Again, there's just not much anything you can't do. You're usually limited by your own imagination and the thickness of your wallet.
So we could get like a pressure sensitive map and
Yes.
it would send out a message.
You can get a pressure sensitive WAP. You can tie in with some of the Wi-Fi scales that are out there. There are, sometimes you gotta get API keys when you're dealing with some of the cloud-based stuff, but if you have a willing scale, you could step on the scale and have it send that information into your interface, and then, evaluate based on that data. If you want to have you step on the scale, and if you're over a certain weight, a red light goes off, you can do that.
Can you lock the refrigerator?
You can do that.
If you
You can do that. If you put a lock on the
You
fridge.
can get a Wi-Fi refrigerator
It
lock.
doesn't, it's Wi-Fi,
A
smart
network.
Refrigerators already come with door locks.
So, was it?
Smart refrigerators already come with door locks.
Well, there you go. So yeah, all you need is a way to control it remotely, so that when you step on the scale and it says you're this much, you can give yourself a message. It says eat more protein. Do whatever you need to do. Something gets your heart rate, and you can publish that data, and you can gather it in here.
You're overweight. I'm switching you to vegan. Vegan.
Guys still across the street, we have veganism.
But the best, probably the best thing about all of this
Target
is
weight, no ice cream today.
yeah, no ice cream today. Actually, no, ice cream's not a bad thing. Ice cream's got a lot of fat and protein and sugar. I'm not going to argue against ice cream. So, but again, you're keeping your home out of the cloud. Your home is your home. Your business is your business. I run this at home. I run this at work. It's not the prettiest, but you can make it as pretty as you want because you've got that REST API to go do what you want, enjoy it, and extend it in any way you want with anything. Any kind of device that you can get online. Doesn't even have to be online, just on the internet. You can send data, yes or no. You can capture that data. You can manipulate it. You can turn it into charts, graphs, things like that. I don't think our chart's going to work in here because we haven't had the system online.
Do you have any trouble finding devices that send it in an open format that it can be interpreted?
That's where you turn to the wiki to see whether or not those types of devices are supported. Things like the Philips Hue all the information is accessible on those offline. You don't need the cloud for Philips Hue to work. So that information is published. That's using a standard Zigbee protocol. You can then take that, create a color wheel, go into that color wheel and adjust your lights. And with that information, you can say, okay, I want to go ahead and, now that I have all that information on hand, I want to always have my lights turn on at a certain time and be a certain color. 6 o'clock at night, you want a green light, you can have a green light come on at 6 o'clock. Insteon devices, very popular in the US, not so much, or US and Canada, so in North America, Insteons are popular because a lot of their devices are dual band. They do radio frequency and power line communication, so they're very reliable. They're built off of X10, but much more robust. Those huge Z-Wave, Zigbee, anything you want to do, you can tie into alarm panels with this. So you can use presence detection, say, okay, I'm home, or at least my phone is here, go ahead and disable the alarm when I come in the door. I have left my predefined zone, or my phone has left this predefined zone. I have a 100-meter geofence in my home. I'm past that, alarm the system. Turn off the light, or turn up the thermostat. Whatever you need to do.
Release the hound.
Release the hound, you got the hound on lockdown here, whatever, poof, unlock the hound, release the chickens, whatever you need to do, you've got the flexibility to do that.
I think his hound would make a very good attack.
Well,
No, but it doesn't have to be an attack dog. I
Yeah.
mean, they do have things where you
Slumber
can
on
put them
you.
in the crate, and there's an automated distance opener. They're just expensive. But, if it's the right thing for you, it's worth it.
The other thing you can do, especially for Android users, if you're using Tasker and you're using geofencing. One of the things I have on my phone is during the winter months when we had our daylight savings time, I'm riding my bike home, it's dark when I get home. What I just have to do is the moment my phone connects to the Wi-Fi, it turns on the light in the garage. So when I come in the door, it's not pitch black, I can see what I'm doing. So using just a simple push via Tasker, says, hey, you're connected to the Wi-Fi, send a command to this switch, not through their app, just through the REST API. You've got all this that you want to do. You want to use Perl to do something.
Does the REST API have authentication built into it, or?
It's optional. You can authenticate on a couple different levels. You can set authentication just to say, okay, whether you're on your own LAN or not, or you can use HTTPS and generate certificates. So if you want to generate certificates for added security to access CMB and access your home,
You can
you're
have
not
you
there.
can you can have it require client certificates,
Yes.
so that only.
Yeah, you can have it require a certificate. Very flexible and all of that. So, Perl, exposed, whatever, what do we call our sensor? What do we call our thing here? I'm going awesome fake switch. Fake switch.
There it is, fake switch.
REST items fake switch.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was fake switch or not, so we'll find out in a second. Fake switch.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't fake switch. Either that or could
No,
not be
it-
resolved.
It wasn't.
Oh.
You passed some. You passed a command line argument that wasn't the URL.
Result post.
And shouldn't that be localhost :8080 /CMD equals?
Yeah. So what happens when you're trying to read over your own shoulder here? There we go. So, you can use curl. I mean, you can do anything. So,
What if I want a pointy clicky?
if you want a pointy clicky, then you use the app. You use the mobile one. You can use the desktop one.
Right,
Are
but
you really a
what if I
Linux
want to set
person?
up my rules with pointy clicky?
Are
I
you
don't
really a
wanna type
Linux
in-
person?
No, I'm really not.
Do you belong in this room?
I'm here for the open network of things. I'm not here to type shit into a terminal.
You don't have to type shit in the terminal. The awesome relay is not there, but let's see. It updated the state before I got over there.
Right, but what if I wanted to make a rule without typing anything?
Without typing
Yeah.
anything? Slacker.
Well,
No, not Slacker.
Hey,
Slackware people are
They're not Slacker.
Slackware people are
Point-and-click rules
comfortable
are not around
typing.
yet. If you want them, write them.
mean,
Write the interface to create the point-and-click rules.
yeah.
There.
So
It's
no one
open
has
source.
made an add-on to like make a diagram of your
Now, the OpenHAB 2.0 installation is very point and click, but a lot of it's still very broken. 1.8.3 is stable, reliable, works like a champ, it's easy to figure out things, but 2.0 is still very, very beta. 2.0 is they're trying to make it as user-friendly as possible, so that your average ID10T can just go, oh, look, it found my devices, go ahead and add them, and you're done.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But if you want to actually fine tune and tweak it to the point where you can say things like shine on you crazy diamond and have that turn on, you know, you can, 1.8.3 is a lot more flexible.
Right, but I can't right click on potato and change the name.
No, not in this instance, no, you'd have to do it through a configuration file. So what I can do, I can go into my site maps here,
And we can't see it.
you don't need to see it.
But presumably
The
with,
secret.
with the application, with the, you know, REST API, you could probably write an application that would do that.
Well, someone could. I mean, if I want a pointy clicky application, I'm not gonna write one. That is the purpose of a pointy clicky application.
If you're going to package it up with your product,
Reload the page.
Yep. All that stuff refreshes pretty quickly too. Usually in a couple seconds, your items are reread. And when it sees that you've modified your items, or you've modified your sitemap, or you've modified your rules, or your scripts, all of that stuff is reread in seconds. The only thing that you cannot modify on the fly is your main configuration. That does require stopping and starting the server. There is an option to enable auto refresh on the main configuration. I found that it causes more trouble with other things like the Astra binding, which pulls in things like your elevation, sunrise, sunset, things like that. So it's better than to leave the auto refresh off on the main config. If you do need to change something in there, you stop, you start. In terms of the configurations and the add-ons, actually I should pull those up and show you. Is the terminal hidden over here? Yes, good. So, there we go, MC. Oh, no MC. All right, so, oh shoot, what'd you do?
I would just reset it.
There you go. Nothing to, okay. Anyways, my loaded add-ons are these. I'm using Astra, which is gets your sunset and sunrise data, your MQT actions and binding. Your bindings are your main things that just says, okay, these are the devices and the types of things you have on your network or your automation system. The MQT too is for your location-based services. I haven't gotten all that configured yet. Weather, so you can pull in your weather information, wake on LAN support, and there's even TTS support so that you can have announcements come over any specified audio device. So if you have a squeeze box or something like that tied into the system, you can push notifications, voice notifications to a device and say, hey, you've got this happening, or you need to get up, or whatever else. Round robin database just for some persistent stuff. And again, persistence on the MQTT so you can see and read and do everything it needs to do. And then when we look at the other
The
folder,
bedroom is on fire. Please
Yeah.
evacuate the building.
so these are just the available bindings that are not installed. And that's just some of them, because you obviously.
How long does it deal with things outside of its environment?
That's all our bindings here. So Ecobee, DS3 Alarm, Homematic, Harmony Hub, Prowl, Pushover, Squeeze Boxes, Telegram, Tinkerforge, Twitter. You can message your system via just like doing something in IRC, but you can have it follow Twitter's or Pushover notifications or Telegram notifications and send your own notification from somewhere to do something. Now, what do you mean by something outside of your network?
Well, like if my alarm system turned on a light,
Mm-hmm.
does this get confused that now that light is in a different state than it said?
It can, if you have two controllers controlling your Z-Wave devices, it just depends, as long as your refresh is set up frequent enough, you set up your refresh to 15 or 30 seconds, then 15 or 30 seconds later, when it pings your devices, it says, oh, this device state has changed, you'll see it change in the interface. So, if not, if it hasn't changed yet, you can sometimes just turn it on and back off, and then it, sends an on push, but it's already on, so now you send it an off push. So, but again, you can, BenQ projector, Bluetooth, CalDAV, Comfo Air. All over the world, all sorts of different standards are supported. So XBMC, XMPP. Any other questions?
So what's the most complex thing that you've set up with this that actually worked?
Well, that's the thing, is none of it is really terribly complex. If you want to, probably the most complex thing is, I think I've copied the rule in here. But I renamed it so that it didn't run. So you see, rules have to end with .s. And so you have to set things, okay, the temp rules are set to turn on that fan when it's over degrees. The RGB LED rules are because you need special configurations for these. Ponic rule, I copied it on here to use that as an example, but I didn't turn this on the end. Otherwise, in my console, I'd get an error saying, can't find the devices these are tied to, can't find the devices they're tied to. All this is my lights and pump on my aquaponics setup. And it's cron. You're just using cron, and you're just saying, when, this time, send command to this device, turn this device off. Rule, turn the light off at this time, 21:30, turn the light off every day.
So this is the 7 triggers.
That's all it is. And then, the device that's used, it's no longer called coop light, but for the rule, it's still called coop light. And then the pump. Every 15 minutes, turn the pump on. Wait, turn the pump off. It just cycle pump.
Cool.
Turn the pump on, turn the pump off. And so, that's all cron. So, a little bit of wiki work, and you figure it out, and what goes where. Script everything to do whatever you want to do. And then, like I said, the ability to just go anywhere into your system and modify your devices, give them any name you want, change your site nav to say whatever you want, change the icons to look however you want. You're not limiting yourself in anything that OpenHAB has to offer. This goes. No, we want that because we're not connected to the internet. That's kind of the point of things. Is we're not connected to the internet yet. We're still in control.
Woohoo.
I'm going to turn on the light up here. Go ahead and turn on the fan up here.
It keeps turning back on.
That's because it's still over 80 as far as it's around 78.8. It shouldn't turn on automatically now. So it's pretty much done. It will stay off now. So we've turned it on and off through here. We've turned it on and off through the temperature. We've turned it on and off through the web interface. Every way possible. So humidity's dropped a few percent, which is good. This sensor's only accurate to within 2%, which is plenty of leeway when you're not on life support.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming to talk to us about this.
Thank you.
Now, I did want to offer the Wi-Fi based temperature sensor to someone that showed up. Is there anybody that's interested in the Wi-Fi based temperature sensor? Got to edit 3 lines in the Arduino IDE. You've got
Is
to
this the
enable
freebie?
support.
I'll take the freebie.
Are you going to use it?
Yeah, you're going to use it?
Are you going to help me set it up?
I can, certainly.
I'm not good with the typing.
Yeah, I know. 3 lines in the Arduino IDE. Oof, it's a rough one.
All right, I may want your help.